Healing doesn't always feel like peace. Sometimes it feels like crying more, feeling more, and wondering if something is wrong with you. I honestly thought healing would feel peaceful right away, like a relief. But when it started for me, it was noisy, messy, and confusing. Hi, I'm Miracle, and today I want us to sit with something we often misunderstand. The kind of healing that feels like you're falling apart when you actually coming back to yourself. Some of what I'm about to share may sound familiar, and if it does, just stay with it. So let's get right into the video and let's talk. Let's start with something we often mistake as a setback. When I finally stopped running from my pain, I noticed my feelings showing up louder. Not because I was breaking down, but because my body finally felt safe enough to release what it had buried for so long. Or maybe it had buried so much and it just needed to release and breathe. I found myself crying more, feeling things more deeply, and having random waves of sadness. And as I went through this, I realized something important. This isn't regression. It's your heart clearing out old wounds you might have been pretending didn't exist. It's your heart finally letting go of the heart you told yourself didn't matter. It's your heart finally speaking the truths you've been quiet about for years. It's your heart finally releasing the pain you've carried in silence for too long. If you're noticing the same in yourself, know this. You see these waves, the tears, the heaviness. It's proof that you're healing. And then there's this one that could confuse anyone really. You might notice a quiet shift in yourself. Suddenly, the people and situations that used to drain you no longer hold the same power. I felt it too. I realized I no longer had the energy for bare minimum love, one-sided friendships, or performing strength so people wouldn't see my cracks. What feels like irritation is actually self-respect waking up. And if you're feeling the same way, it's a clear sign that you're starting to outgrow what no longer serves you. And this one doesn't look like healing, but it's one of the strongest signs. There comes a moment where you notice you're no longer reaching for people who don't see you. You're no longer trying to explain yourself or justify your feelings or earn validation. I remember feeling this in myself. The exhaustion of endlessly proving my worth to people who weren't capable of understanding. It wasn't that the pain was gone. It was that I finally realized my peace is too precious to spend on the wrong audience. And if you feel in the same way, know this. Healing begins the moment you quietly say to yourself, I don't owe everyone access to me. That's the moment your inner life starts being protected and your heart begins to breathe again. And then there is this one, the one you might have overlooked, and is old you wanted instant relief. Old you wanted quick fixes. Old you wanted rebound. You wanted distraction. Healing you makes quieter decisions. Healing you wants to go to bed early. Healing you is blocking someone you would have argued with. Healing you is walking away from chaos without announcing it. It could feel boring, but it's growth disguised as peace. Now the next one is quiet, but it's powerful. The same things that used to trigger you now make you pause. You don't explode. You don't shut down. You breathe. You reflect. And then you respond. It could feel like maturity because it is maturity. And finally, the clearest sign of all. You might notice yourself starting to imagine a life beyond the pain, even if everything isn't figured out yet, even if you still feel shaky inside. I remember this in my own journey, the first time I pictured a version of myself that felt whole, that smile without carrying yesterday weight. I felt a quiet hope stirring me. And if you're feeling that too, it's a sign that healing is happening. You're beginning to see possible endings that don't hurt, and versions of you that are strong, that are soft, and is free. Healing is not a moment. It's not a glow up. And I can tell you it's not a straight line, but it's a returning to yourself piece by piece. And yeah, if it doesn't feel like healing right now, it's because you're still in the part where growth looks like chaos. Can you please trust the process? You're further than you think. If it spoke to you, rest here for a moment, then like this video and subscribe. And tell me one thing you've learned about yourself on this healing journey. You might be the encouragement someone else needs.